Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is Forge Striker, and today I'm going to give you another deck profile. No, it's not a different deck profile. No, it's another version, and it's Genex time. Today I decided about working on Genexes. I remember there's some cards here I had that, well, could have worked. Some same versions of the deck, some different extra cards. I just started making it. Remember, this is a fun deck. It's not much of a competitive deck, apparently. But always give you a little hit of reviews. Always remember, this Friday we will have the Secrets of Eternity. In 2 weeks' time, we will have the Structure of the Heroes. And then during 2 weeks' time, we have the what do you call it? The Secret Forces or something. Yeah. But anyway, let's get to the deck profile, shall we? All right. For starters, the two Genex controllers, main board. Two allied remotes. Its effect is that once per turn, if you target one tuner monster on the field, and I think it's when you control, and change its name to Genex controller for the turn, which is pretty obvious. And then we have the one Birdman. That's it for the tuners. And then for the searcher, we got 3 Undynes. Get rid of the water monster, just add a controller. Then we played 2 Genex Doctor. Alright, Doctor's effect is that you can tribute a Genex controller you control to destroy one card on the field, I believe. Yeah, on the field. Alright, and I'm going to stop right there for a sec, because if you guys just remind you all what happens. Alright, there's a lot of mixing the whole point, because the whole main board to it is Genex controller. Alright, if you have Genex controller on the field or in the graveyard, it doesn't matter what happens. As long as you have him, it's not a big deal. Or if you have your hand, because if you're using for the final gesture. I mean, you got this guy right here, but if anything, like if you don't have him if you have this card anywhere, just remember you have this guy who also can treat itself as a freaking Genex monster. And if you know that if you treat him as a controller, you can go synchro summon for something, but it's better off to go for a tribute and pop, like a Scrap Dragon. That's why it's very important to have, especially with Undyne. Even if you have one in the graveyard and then you just have one on the field, and you add a controller to your hand. I still say it's pretty worth having your cards in the grave for the final gesture. So yeah, one blast fan. When it's specials, you get to add a dark Genex tuner from your deck to your hand. So we have which is the main board here, which is a Birdman remote and controller. The 2 neutrons, which is the main searcher. Everyone knows what he does. And I'm bringing back Ultimate, I believe. For those who don't know, when this card is destroyed, anything, and he's sent to the graveyard, you get to add 2 Genex monsters from your graveyard back to your deck. And he's an 1800 meter, so he is really important to use. I only have one, but I find one is fine because I think 2 might be a little bit unusable. And the fact that he's Earth, so I can go for that Triforce. But mainly because I like to have him as an 1800 meter, adding cards from my graveyard back to my hand. It's amazing. And then we played the 2 Goblinbergs, specials, whatever. Go for a Synchro Summon or its Exceed Summon. You guys know what he does. I had a little preoccupied point where I'm just thinking to use 2 Cyber Dragons, 1 Caius, or 2 Caius, 1 Cyber Dragon, and I had a lot of thinking, and I still got with this. We're playing with 1 Cyber Dragon, and the reason why is because I find 2 so much of a clog in my hand that was always a dead draw. It never got me to too useful. I mean, I'm okay if he's first hand as long as it's my second turn, but he becomes a dead draw to me, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'd rather use 1 Cyber Dragon, and I have no problem with it. And I stick with the 2 Caius because Caius helps me get rid of those annoying pesky cards that are gonna get in your face, especially like decks like Burning Abyss, you know, where you have to basically have those cards in the graveyard, but I like this better to banish, and then if it's because of the fact they're fucking dark, you inflict 1,000. Plus, he helps you for like end game for like okay, like for example, like you special Cyber Dragon, your opponent's got nothing like background yours or anything. Tribute, Summon Kai's, you got nothing. No Veilers, no Finish Change, no Breakthroughs, no anything. Just uses, and he's like, oh, there's nothing to do. Just banish itself, take 1,000. He has like 1,000 or less life points, you win the game. That's why I stick with 2 Kai's. He's a way better card in this deck. And that's it for the monsters. Here's a spell that actually I finally realized that I'm so stupid that I forgot about it, and it can be useful. And that's Double Iron Call. Double Iron Call is basically a monster reborn. It specials a level 4 below machine type monster from your graveyard. Its effects are negated and it destroys in the end. I know people might think it's not that. You could say, oh, they get destroyed in the end. Well, you're obviously going to go for a single summon, an exceed summon, not a big deal, or direct or end game attack. Doesn't really matter if their effects again, as long as they can do the attack or go for the single exceed play. Doesn't matter. It's a really good card. It's better than nothing. The main card of the deck, of course, is the Final Gesture. For those who don't know who this is, I'll be glad to read it to you. Target one face-up level 3 monster you control. Special summon one monster with the same name as that monster from your hand or graveyard. Its effects are negated. During the end phase of this turn, destroy the face-up monster that was targeted this turn. Card. Similar like Iron Call, but the difference is that same thing. It goes for level 3s, and like I said before, the reason why we got is for the remotes, the controller. You can use the Doctor and the Undines. These are like basically your main targets here. Of course, you want to use Doctor if you want to go for an XC play or for a tribute or anything, but you want to have mainly the Genex controllers and the Undines, because Undines help you get your XC plays or single plays immediately, and the controllers are the main board because, well, they're the main reasons for it. That's why remote's here for pretend it's a controller, and then boom, you go instantly for this. That's it, not a big deal. 2 MST, standard. Alright, and for the 1-ups, this is how my decision, and I'll explain why. 1 Falling Current. If you remember my first 2 deck profiles before, I run 3 on the first, and I run 2 on the second, and I'm running 1. And you kind of to a point where you realize this card is really dead if you run more than 1. It doesn't help much. It's just not a good card to be running as many for this type of deck, I guess. Depending on how you're gonna run it. For those who don't know, its effect is that he basically just targets the monster in the field and changes his level from 1 to have his level treated as levels 1 to 2 or 3. It's a really good card, but it's just so dead in the hand. That's the problem. But I still want to run it, and 1 is fine. I got no problem with it. I'm still running Lightning Vortex. I was thinking to use Dark Hole, but then by a quick second like that, 1 is just fine. It's not a big deal. Plus, the whole point is that you're gonna get your cards in the graveyard, like which this deck does, because that way you can use the Final Gesture, and for any province. And plus, like you have a dead card in your hand, like I said, like the Cyber Dragon is like, oh, he's nothing. You just send him to the grave, and then blah blah blah, and you just use this, and that's it. If I had a Regeki, it'd be a different story, but whatever. Then the main ones we got Limited Removal, Allure. I am playing the Snatch Steal just to get some cards that get annoying and just take over and just attack, or use it for an XC or Synchro. Either way, this is one of my favorite cards from the old days. I know a lot of people just don't give a fuck about it. I love this card. I am actually glad this card was actually out of the ban list. I mean, I was expecting Brain Control maybe, or Premature Burial, but what can you do? Book of Moon and a Soul Charge. With a Soul Charge and Iron Call, you actually have a chance. I was running Call the Hunter, if you remember from all my previous deck profiles, but it didn't happen. But you know, it was pretty good. But then, like the problem was this: it was getting kind of too much around surrounding on my field, and even though I had the Scrap Dragon, it probably didn't work. But Iron Call is way better. For traps, Fairy Box. That's the standard of all my decks, no matter what. Solemn Warning, Bombless, Double Phoenix Chain, because I hate those annoying effects going through. The Double Magic Cylinder just for trolling. I just love this trap in this deck. And then I had a decision to make, because if you notice, the Compulsive's not here, and I decided this card is by far the best. Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. You discard, and you basically return a card from the top of the deck, so that way they have nothing to draw. There's nothing else to say about this. This card is perfect in this deck. I love it. Not a big deal. That's it for the deck. For extra deck, okay, it's a little promises, like I said before. The extra deck is going to be a little different like before this, but it's a fun deck, and I don't want to take out cards from my other decks, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm just going to use the cards I can. So, enjoy. Genex. For those who don't know, you basically get to synchros with a Genex control and a water monster. So that's Undying. Basically, these are like the evolved forms of the monsters. Its effect is that when it destroys a monster in battle, I gain life points equal to the monster Genex destroys. With the, I believe it's original. No, yeah, actually, the gains life points. Doesn't matter what the attack is, even if it gains it. For example, let's say I synchro summon him. Battle BLS. Activate limit removal. It's 4,600. It doesn't matter if he even dies in the end. I gain life points. That way, next turn I'm still alive. So as long as my opponent doesn't do anything to OTK me. Alright, and next one I'm playing the Celestial Wolf Warlord. I'm not going to play as Sahemoth because remember, I have it for the Blackwing deck until I have the Goyle. But this is pretty good if you run it with this card. It's like vice versa. Because when this card is destroyed, when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you basically, the monster, it destroyed it, it gives 2,400. You play this, you attack it. Of course, you basically don't gain the life points. I mean, that's true. But, hey, what the hell? Gets rid of the pissy cards. Oh, shit. And then I play the one Triarm. Because, Triarm is pretty good. You can only go for the water and the wind. Of course, with the Final Current, you can do anything. So, water in the dark. Of course, water because you want to mostly this effect you have to discard to activate it and then just pop a spell or trap. It's not a big deal. Level 7s, I am Black Rose for nuking, pretty standard. Triforce, I'm playing 1. 2 has been getting not that well, and I've only sticked with 1, so I'm fine with 1. And obviously, when I'm aiming for the Earth, even though you get the light, Earth is by far the best. And then I switch back to Michael, because we can go for with the Neutron. And, this card is amazing. Just banish, and that's it. Even if 8,000. Even though you got to, it's cool. You got to get cards in the graveyard no matter what. Plus, you don't get dirt draws. And then for labels, I'm only running Axel and Scrap Dragon. I think it was like previous before I did run them. And these are just perfect. I have nothing wrong to say about this. Axel just discards and specials, so the monster doubles his attack, can attack direct attack, but who cares? Which I would actually recommend to use it with Ultima. Because remember, when Ultima is destroyed and he sends to the graveyard, return 2 Genex from your graveyard back to that. So this is perfect with the Ultima. Scrap Dragon, just pop card that you don't need, and then that's it. End of story. Now that's it for the synchros. For the X-Seeds, we're playing 4 rank 3s and 3 rank 4s. Yeah, we know what's good. It's retarded, vice versa. So the same thing. So I'm playing the same thing with rank 3s. Zamains for protection, Micquib for protection, Alucard for pop pesky face downs, and the one Nightmare Shark for direct attacks. So yeah, these 4 are perfect. There's nothing to say about it. And for the rank 4s, I just play like more standards, like just to help me. I don't have a Castell, but I'll play a Mace Stroke. Why the fuck not? Who cares? 1 Roach. Reason why? Because you don't want to get those annoying special summons in your way. And, you don't want to get cards like Crimson Blader in your face. You don't want to get cards like Scrap Dragon, Stardust, Star Eater, or anything. Negate, goodbye. Nothing you can do about it. And then I play the Utopia, because why the fuck not? Utopia is Utopia protection, that's it. This deck has low level attacks, but why not? It's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's Genex. There's nothing to say. One more thing I wanted to mention about the Mace Stroke, I apologize to mention, is when he's in, you can always have him as a protector as well. It's his 2,300 defense, Book of Moon stuff, vice versa. That's all I gotta say. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoy, and I just realized it's 14 minutes. Dear God, I talk too much. But that's Genex version 3. Hope you guys enjoy this. This is for my new deck profile for the new year. By those Secrets of Eternity, let's see if we can stop those Cool Fords, Shaddolls, and Burning Abyss, because they're annoying as hell. Nothing else to say. Like, comment, share, subscribe to me. Like my Facebook page, and this is Fortress Striker, signing off.